developers and personalities within the property world. And Megan Clare, she is a storyteller through photography for personal branding. So, four very different opinions on stage, and that runs for an hour. So, if anyone's interested, we would love to see you at the event. Scan the QR code, we'll get the links out in the chat. One thing I will stress, this event for us is our USP is that this is a no pitch event. So there's no 10 grand upsells, there's no running to the back of the room. It's all about you getting maximum value for the price that you pay for the event. It's all
Right. Well,
inclusive
there's
with your food.
lots of people who are saying they've got their ticket already. Rajesh is saying he
Amazing.
went to the first one and he's really excited to come to the next one as well. Guys, get your tickets in there and we look forward to seeing you there. Right.
Definitely.
Cool. Let's move on.
Perfect. And last but not least, I'm also the founder of the MCR Property Social. We've got our next event coming up on the 21st of March. So if anyone is interested in attending, it's in Manchester again. We'll send the details out. Cool. So what we're going to cover today, we're going to cover understanding the potential of LinkedIn and why I think you should use it, how you can find property investors on there. Who's on here because they want to find more property investors, just out of interest? So Doug, Maria, Christ, so many of you. I can't even keep up with the comments. Carla, Rajesh, Michael, Jessica, perfect. Okay. Um, Anybody interested in finding some direct to vendor deals as well on here? Yeah, perfect. So Fane, Malcolm, Carla, Kingsley, and then also building your brand as well. It's so much easier to build your brand and your brand awareness on a platform like LinkedIn. I'm going to explain how the algorithm works as well a little bit more. And then we're going to have a little Q&A as well at the end. Cool. So understanding LinkedIn's potential. So firstly, there's a huge audience globally on LinkedIn. There's 950 million people globally, 45 million people in the UK alone. The algorithm is like no other. So the algorithm works in your favor and not against you. If you think about posting on other platforms, typically your post will only get showed to whoever's following you unless you create something that goes viral. With the algorithm on LinkedIn, if you have a small following, but your followers have a large following, if they are interacting and engaging with your post, the algorithm will push it onto the followers of your followers in order to get more traction. So if you've only got 500 followers, but your connections have a hell of a lot more, you're going to get pushed onto them as well. So it's a great way of getting secondary connections. So the platform will definitely be able to provide you with access to property investors, to landlords, JV partners, estate agents, and lots of different property professionals. And by using the algorithm as well, we're going to be able to push your posts far beyond where you could ever imagine they will go as well. So this is just an example of one post that we did. We reached 111,000 impressions, 39 reposts, 277 comments, 961 likes. Now, although this post isn't something that's going to necessarily get me clients, what this got was 111,000 sets of eyes on my profile. And typically, after you do a post like this and you've got high engagement on it, that's the perfect time for you to lead with something that I call is a service-based post. So a service-based post is going to be the one that says, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is who I help, and this is who I'm looking to work with. If you post that shortly after you've got huge amount of engagement on a post like this, that's when you're going to be in a position to absolutely capitalize and get maximum exposure from your profile. So it's really important that when you get good traction, you have to double down on that. Don't let it slow down. Get on there, reply to all your comments, start posting more. If you've got posts scheduled for the next 3 days, I would probably get those posts to go out every 2 hours after this one instead of panning that out over a few days. Cool. So for the people that are looking to find property investors on the platform, for me, it's the easiest place to find your property investors. But before you get started, one thing that I find is a lot of people don't actually know who they're looking for. So they don't know who their ideal client is. So when I have my initial consultation with my mentees and I say, who's your ideal client? A lot of them will just say, well, just anyone with money. And that's such a broad criteria that it's very hard for you to pinpoint your search for a client on any platform. So, just out of interest, how many of you actually know who your ideal client is that you're looking for? Let's say right now, if I said to you, who is your ideal client? Who here could say, yes, I know exactly who my client is, and who doesn't yet know who that ideal client is? Okay, so lots of us are saying yes, which is great. Paul says yes. Andrew's raising his hand. Steve isn't sure yet. Amelia says yes, but would like more information on it as well. Okay, cool. So when we're looking at who our ideal client is, here's a couple of things that you need to consider. So are they based in a certain location? So, like I mentioned about my business model, I'm looking to work with people that are based in the south that are interested in investing into the north. The reason I'm looking for that is because that's something that I can relate to, and people buy from people that share similar interests, and they can also relate to. So, it's really important. Um, I know exactly demographically the areas as well. So I'm interested in London, Kent, Surrey, and Essex. They're the four home counties that I'm interested in finding my investors. You also need to think about, is there a specific age group that you're interested in as well? So are you looking to work with young working professionals? Are you looking to work with people approaching retirement age? Are you looking to work with people of retirement age that maybe you're looking to invest in property with SASs, for instance, or maybe they're looking to increase their income in their retirement? So something else to consider. Do they work in a certain industry? So I have quite a few mentees that are very specific, not necessarily with location, but with the industry that the clients are in. So I have one group of mentees who run a business called Source for Sports. They're ex-professional rugby players, and they specialize in sourcing property investments for people within the sports world. So typically, people that would just blow their money on cars and stuff like that, they're trying to educate people within the sport world on investing for the future. So they've got a very clear goal of who their ideal client is. I have another one who is a dentist. He now focuses on being the go-to person for doctors, dentists, surgeons, and consultants. So he knows exactly the industry. So now he knows where to find those people. Again, is there a specific job role? So if you're looking at finding people that are at director level, CEO level, managing directors, whatever it might be, again, we can use the platform to search for them by specific job roles. You'll need to know what kind of strategy that you want to work with your clients on. I'm very strict that I only work with clients that are looking for turnkey buy to lets, so properties that are already tenanted that they can just take over and have income from day one. If I'm approached by any investors looking for BRRR, they're looking for social housing, that's not my criteria. I won't take them on. What yield are they looking for? It's good to know what target yield they're looking for. This will make it easier that when you're putting your information out there, if you're constantly talking about a certain yield, then you're going to attract, again, the kind of client that's looking for a similar yield to what you're advertising. And also budget as well, understanding what budget your ideal client is working for. All of this information will be great when it comes to looking for those investors and creating the right type of content. So when we are creating content that are aimed at our ideal client, we need to think about the message that we're putting on there. So my ideal client are landlords, and that single message of putting content out there that attracts landlords kind of ticks the box for me in two different ways. So most people say, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Should I be finding an investor or should I be finding property first? Or if you can create a business model like mine, whereby you're putting out a single message, but it draws in both people. So if I'm putting out lots of information about landlords, tenanted properties, I'm attracting landlords that are looking to exit the market because they can see that I'm dealing with landlords looking to buy, and vice versa. I'm attracting investors that are looking to buy their next property because they know that we're working with lots of landlords. So all of the content that I put out on my social media for property is always focused at landlords. I'm not just specifically looking for investors. I'm not specifically looking for people wanting to sell their home. It's all landlord based. And stuff like this as well. If you can jump on your particular niche when it's in the press, you're going to get really, really split emotions, whether someone is pro or against what you're posting. You can start to get some really good impressions. So 8,500 on this one, 16,500 on this one. Again, those kind of numbers are absolutely amazing for you then to lead with a service-based post straight after to then take advantage and capitalize on it. And any comments that you're getting, you need to be responding very, very quickly. We can also use polls to create warm leads. Who here has used a poll before in on LinkedIn? So Chris has. Perfect. Anybody else? Oh, cool. We've got a little poll going on there. Cool. So where are we at? So more people haven't used a poll yet. So we're sitting at about 65% of people on the call right now haven't been able to utilize a poll yet. The question is though, for the 40% of people that have done a poll, when you've done your poll, has it actually generated you a tangible result? Has it generated you an actual lead if you're looking for an investor or if you're looking for some sort of client, or has it just been something for interaction? Because that's the key thing here. We can create polls, and I see lots of polls that get lots and lots of engagement, but they're asking what's your favorite coffee, and in reality, what are you going to do with that information? So you have to make sure that when you're creating these polls, they are aimed at your ideal client and only your ideal client to vote on as well. So what have we said? Carla says not really, never hits right for the engagement. Samantha says she's worried that nobody will do it. The key thing is the content, Samantha. So if you create a poll that is engaging and it's aimed at your ideal client, it doesn't matter how many people vote on it, because what you're looking for is only the right people voting on it. So I have polls that have 200-300 votes on, and I have polls that maybe get 10 to 15 votes on. My main takeaway from it is, what is my conversion rate on that? If only one person voted on my poll and that one person resulted in me setting up a discovery call and us going on to work with each other, that is 100% hit rate for me. That's the only metric that matters when it comes to this as well. So when we're creating our polls, we need to create questions that there are multiple answers for your ideal client to answer. So I'm aiming this at people with tenanted properties because that's my ideal client. So if you were selling a tenanted property, what would your preference be? Would it be to sell with a tenant in situ, sell with vacant possession, I'm not bothered, or other? Comment below. Now this got 120 votes. We've got the people that say sell with vacant possession. And again, just remember the way that this is asked, this question, it's if you were selling a tenanted property. Therefore, we're encouraging just landlords and people with tenanted properties to answer this poll. So 60% of those are landlords, are saying they would sell with vacant possession. So I would outbound to these people and I would ask out of interest, why would that be? And it might just be something that's been planted in their head from local agents that it's really hard to sell with a tenant in. And what I would do is basically showcase our services on how we can help them. If they say sell with tenants in situ, again, we have a separate answer that we would go back to them with. Thank you for voting on our poll. We're specialists in selling properties with tenants in situ. If you're ever looking to exit the market, please bear us in mind. For the ones that say they're not bothered, these are what I would call colder leads. They're not warm. I would just dig a bit deeper. I would ask some probing questions to find out if they actually have tenanted properties or if they're just someone that's voted on the poll for the sake of it. And then we've got the ones where we encourage people to comment. So we've got 7 comments on here. So I'd be going to the comment section to see what their opinion was on that as well. I always like to have a fourth one that says comment below, because a comment is really powerful for the algorithm. So sometimes if you can leave one of the most popular answers out of your poll, which then encourages people to comment to write that answer, that's when your poll can get pushed even further as well. Um, a lot of people, when they post a poll, they only put content in this bit and they leave this bit blank. In order for people to find this poll, there needs to be some sort of build-up story. This is what the SEO, the kind of algorithm, will take and push towards people with the interest. So if you've got words in here that are typically the posts that your audience are engaging with, then by having a good story build up here, it's going to start appearing on their feed. If you leave this blank, the chances are your poll isn't gonna perform how you want it to. We can also find investors if we use the advanced search function. So this is called Boolean searches. Who's ever used this before? Boolean searches. Just a yes in the chat if you have. Or a no, like Michael, if you haven't yet. If you haven't used it, that's fine. There is a right way and there is a wrong way of using this. So there's lots of different things that we can use when searching. There's speech marks and there's commas and there's brackets. And what this does is it matches certain words and phrases. It takes out certain phrases. So for instance, on this one, I'm looking for property investors. If I put the speech marks there, it means that it will match the entire phrase property investor. So as you can see, these have all got the word property investor in their titles. It's quite a generic search because we're looking all over the country. If I didn't have the inverted commas, then it would be searching for people with the word property or potentially the word investor in there. So we may get people that are in property maintenance or property management. We may get I don't know, investors into the stock market. So you need to use these little tricks to make sure that you're almost filtering and streamlining your searches to only find the people that you're looking for. You can go a step further. So you can use the word and tell it what else you want it to use. For some reason, it's gone small, but the commands need to be in capital letters. So the word and would need to be a capital. So we're searching for property investors in our target area of Doncaster, for instance. So all of these people, if they have Doncaster within their profile, then again, you're attracting your ideal clients. It's a great way of finding the people on the platform, connecting with them, and just making sure that you're not just connecting with people for the sake of it. You are really streamlining who you're connecting with and making sure it's your ideal client. This is just a case study of one of our mentees that was on the one of our previous intakes. This is Kelly. So in just 28 days, Kelly increased her impressions by 200%, which was incredible. She did really well. She found two investors in the first 28 days. Again, this was from a standing start. Never found an investor using any social media before, only from going to networking events. And in 28 days, she found two. One was a relationship that has access to lots of investors. So it's not just the one investor she found, it's a contact that will give her a lot more than just a single one. And another one was an investor that potentially will be a JV partner for her for one of her projects. So, really, really great example that if you take it seriously, you do everything that we tell you to do on the 28-day challenge, you could have results just like Kelly. Who would love to have a similar result to Kelly? Over double their impressions in 28 days, find a couple of investors, and also get some investment funding as well for one of your projects. Lots of you saying me, perfect. There's also great ways of finding direct to vendor deals. And I'm sure everyone on here is fed up of just being on Rightmove and all the search platforms and everything like that, staring at the same deals all the time, and also staring at the same deals that your competition are looking at as well. Who's in a position where I would say I was maybe 4 years ago, where you were fed up of getting outbid all the time, you're fed up of dealing with estate agents, You're fed up of looking at the same deals all the time and trying to, I call it polish a turd. You're looking at that same deal for 3 weeks and you're trying to make it work in your head. You know it doesn't work, but there's nothing else for you to look at. And that was a bit of a game changer for me. I went on an online course. It was called Linked Inbound. Not around anymore, but it was a very generic course. It wasn't property specific, and it really taught me the power of being able to find who you're actually looking for. If you know who they are, you can use the platform to find it by doing some creative posting. Um, and if I go back 4 years now, I would say after a year of perfecting LinkedIn for me and growing my audience, I never had the need to go on and manually source properties because I built enough of a network and a base. I built enough of a strategy that I was getting inbound leads coming in every other week. I would say I was getting some solid inbound leads coming in. And over those 4 years, the last time we totaled it up, it was just over £600,000 worth of commissions that we've made from deals that we'd sourced directly from vendors on the platform. And not only vendors as well, if you're doing the right posting strategies. So I do a lot of posting on how I work with estate agents. So I think about who has access to my ideal client. So, yes, my ideal client is a landlord looking to sell. But instead of looking for that landlord all the time, that individual, I think, well, who has access to landlords? Well, estate agents, letting agents, property management companies. And I start giving examples of how I've worked with these particular companies to assist their clients in expanding their portfolios, but also making it worthwhile for them as introducers. And that's led to lots of estate agents and letting agents approaching me as well to see how we can partner up as well. So it's great when you get letting agents and estate agents on board, and they're financially incentivized, but more importantly, you're providing a solution to a problem they have. Most estate agents don't like to sell tenanted properties. They're going to be really keen to work with you. So I typically get properties at the point of them doing the valuation, or I usually get them 2 weeks before they go to market. So if I can't secure a buyer in that 2 week exclusive period, then they go onto the market. It's a really good position for me to be in because I have a deadline. It means that I work really, really quick, and my investors know that there is no time to wait and and kind of think about it. There is that urgency that we only ever have 2 weeks to make a decision, otherwise it goes on the market at a higher price. So the platform is incredible for it as well. So again, we can use polls here to find landlords. And again, these landlords could become investors. They could become people looking to sell their property as well. Anything that's in the press, jump on it the second it's in the press. As soon as it's hot, get on it. So if I think back to when the Renters Reform Bill came out, it was a big, big thing, right? I remember being at the property investor show or the landlord show in Billingsgate, and there was actually a protest outside there of angry tenants that landlords were the scum of the earth. It was hilarious, but I jumped on the back end of that. I knew that the Renters Reform Bill had just come out, and I knew that people would be very emotional, so we'd get good traction on that. So we put, is the Renters Reform Bill good or bad for landlords? So just in the comment section, who do we think would be the person voting that it's good for landlords? Who do we think thinks the Renters Reform Bill is a good thing? So Sam says tenants with a ha. Richard says tenants. Yep. Elena says tenants. Exactly. So this is a vote where I have nothing to do with the result of this. So I don't have any need for tenants, but that's 15%. So what we're saying, 15% is about 20 odd people voted. That's just pushed the algorithm further for me. So that's great. Who do we think would be voting bad? Who do you think would be saying this is really bad for landlords? So Richard says landlords. Yep. Steve. Yep. Exactly. So lots of you saying landlords. 100% landlords will be thinking this is the end of the landlord market for them. 67%, 146 votes. So it's probably near on 100 people here that have voted it's bad. So my job now would be to message all 100 of these saying, Completely agree with you. Thanks for voting on my poll. Completely agree with where you're at. I think exactly the same. But out of interest, what part of the renters reform bill do you think affects you the most? And that will just be that kind of foot in the door. Let's start a conversation. There's no actual pitching here. This is all about just building that initial conversation rapport and then basically telling you what their pain point is. Pain points are really important. So if they come back and say no fault evictions, I'll have another separate response already created that I can then go back to them. And I say, completely agree. Do you feel that this is enough that you're even contemplating exiting the market? And then if the answer is yes, at that point is when I introduce myself and the business, and that we have a number of new generation landlords that are looking to enter the market. We can help you exit the market with minimal disturbance to your tenant. So we've got that. The third option is that you've got the people that haven't read it yet. Because we are literally 10 minutes after this has been announced, a lot of people are still at work, but they're on LinkedIn. They're still working on LinkedIn, but they haven't had a chance to read it. So we will download the full report. We will upload it to ChatGPT and we will tell ChatGPT to extract and summarize the information that has a negative impact on landlords. And we will then provide that to all the people that have voted on there, saying, I'm sure you haven't got time to read 37 pages, 40 pages, but here's our summary of the things that were going to affect you the most as a landlord. And then we'll give that a day for them to read. And then we'll go back and say, out of interest, which points do you think affect you the most? And again, we will have those responses already lined up. This was a really powerful one for us. We got some really good deals from this. Lots of people that were very emotional from it, very angry, and they straight away wanted to exit the market before it got worse. So this is a great example of how you can generate some landlord leads that are what I call motivated. The other thing here, we have 15 comments. You want to be responding to all of your comments. You can respond within 10 to 15 minutes of those initial comments coming in. Again, that's going to keep the algorithm alive. One little tip when I do respond to comments is that I always end it with another question, because then that encourages them to come back to the post and engage. If they come back and engage with the post, I will then leave it 24 hours before I go back and respond again, because what that will do is take the interaction over to a second day. So you can drag out your interaction in the algorithm, pushing you by delaying your second and third responses back to your audience. So it's a really cool way of playing the algorithm. Again, we can use the Boolean search function here as well. So let's say we're looking for landlords. We can put the word landlord in. One thing that I found when I just went with landlord is that we were getting lots of pub landlords coming up as well. So again, there was a lot of filtering in the system. Just like with the word and, we can go with the word not. So in this instance, what I would be doing is I would be searching for landlord, not pub. And hopefully that should put you in a position where it's eradicating pub landlords and you're only getting property-based landlords. Or you can go with the word landlord and the word and put property, and then it will match people that have both property and landlord within their profiles. Again, you just connect with those. You can connect with about 50 people a week. And just make sure that you're using that allowance of 50 people on the free account as wise as you can. Lots of people will just go to connections, connect with the top 50 people on there, not actually look at who they are. And then you've just wasted all your connections. If you're going to grow your profile, you want to grow with the right people, and ring fence it to just being your ideal client. It's another one of our clients who were on the last intake. This is Artie. Artie was incredible on there. Perfect student. Took on board everything that we said, the daily tasks that we gave. She went off and did. She hit in 6 months. She hit 400,000 impressions on her account. It's absolutely huge. 400,000 impressions is massive. She really enjoyed the format of it, but I think the biggest thing for Artie is that she secured an off-market deal in her first 28 days, which was incredible. And not only that, she also got an investor who is going to be an angel investor for her first project as well. So again, just like Kelly, she got two really secure clients off of this. One was a direct to vendor deal that was off market, and the other one was a JV investor as well. So whoever you're looking for, they're on here. You just got to know how to find them. Um, but yeah, really, really great example. If you follow the process, you follow the framework, you give yourself 28 days to really put yourself into it, you're going to see some incredible results. Building your brand. So for me, building your brand is the kind of thing that you want to do before you start looking for investors, you start looking for deals, because people are going to want to see who you are first. They're going to want to see if you're credible, if they're going to let you win the instruction, if they're going to work with you. If you're an absolute ghost on social media, there's no proof of concept on there, there's no social proof. It's very rare that someone's going to take the risk of working with you, especially if hard earned money is involved. Typically people won't look down your profile, I would say, any further than about 10 posts. It's really easy to get 10 posts out. So I would say go all in on building up your personal brand for the first 2 weeks. And then you start asking for investors, you start asking for direct vendor deals. That should be enough for you. But you need to make sure it's relevant to what you're going to be doing. So lots of people post lots and lots of family stuff on there. Use this as your business platform. Post you assessing a deal, post you going on a property viewing, post you dealing with a problem and providing the solution. There's so many things that we can help you with when it comes to creating your content. Just out of interest, who here actually struggles with what to post when it comes to social media? So Doug, Paul, Janice, Kingsley, Richard. Cool. Okay, well, that's definitely something that we can help you with, and I'll go into that a little bit more. So, first things first, you need to be consistent. You need to show up minimum 3 times a week, if not 5 times a week. That is, for me, that's non-negotiable. I show up 2 to 3 times a day. I have lots going on, but I'm always documenting it. The more I post, the more I sit at the top of everyone's feed. And I don't know if there's anyone in here that can relate to it, but I went to an event last night, met someone for the first time, and the first thing he said to me is, God, every time I open my LinkedIn, you are at the top of my feed. And my response to that is working then. Because that's what I want. Every time someone opens their LinkedIn, they're always reminded of me, my service, my event, my training, whatever it might be. I want to be that top person that's always up there, so that at any point, if they ever need me, they're always reminded of me. If you're posting inconsistently, you're not feeding the, I call it feeding the beast, feeding the algorithm. It's not going to work in your favor. So, how can we post consistently? Well, first thing is to schedule your content. So, who here thinks it would be really difficult for them to post every single day for 28 days? Who would say that wouldn't be possible for them with their work commitments and everything like that? Who would say they would struggle to post for 28 days? Okay. Next question. For the people that said it would be difficult, who could, whether it's during the week or on the weekend, who could just pull out a 2 hour period that they could concentrate on building and scheduling a whole week's worth of content? So 5 pieces of content to go out Monday to Friday. So who could find 2 hours in their week? And when people say I haven't got time, I always encourage them to actually look at what you're doing in your downtime as well. Like, is there 2 hours worth of Netflix in the week? Is there 2 hours of scroll? I mean, like one of the biggest things. How many hours are you wasting actually being a consumer and not a creator? How many hours do you waste scrolling through TikTok and doom scrolling? I'm guilty of it myself, but I still get this done, right? So there's all this time that we say, like, I just don't have the time to do it, but it's a priority, right? If you're not getting the result that you want in your business that could change your life, replace your income, then you need to look at what you're prioritizing your time on. Um, I call these 2 hours my strictly come dancing time. So whatever that's on a Sunday evening that my wife is watching, whether it's Dancing on Ice, Strictly Come Dancing, those 2 hours are my golden hours. They're my strictly come dancing hours, whereby I will sit there and I will plan my content for the next 5 days. I will create it, and then I will use the content scheduler on the platform to schedule them on what day I want them to go out and also at what time. Sam, Monty is fine because she gets a text message after, but yeah, she appreciates work comes first. Um, but yeah, it's really, really important for me that no matter how busy I am, and as Michelle said at the start, I'm doing all these things, but I turn up every day on social media. I'm not physically posting every single day. Um, it is going out every day, but all I've done is committed to 2 hours on a Sunday to ensure it goes out. So if I think about tomorrow I'm traveling up to Manchester. I'm on a podcast. I'm at a venue, getting ready for an event. Then I'm going to be commuting back. I won't have time to be posting on social media, but I know I have 2 posts already going out on LinkedIn because they're scheduled. So I don't believe anyone that says you can't post every single day. You just need to find that little period in your schedule that you can prioritize, just spending 2 hours, no distractions, creating your content. Um, Next, uh, balance quality and quantity. So I post 2 to 3 times a day. I feel I have enough quality in those 2 to 3 times a day because I'm doing lots of different things. So whether I'm posting about property, whether I'm posting about an event, maybe I'm posting something educational, maybe there's something in the news, I'll only post if I think it's going to add quality to my audience. I would never put myself in a position where I think, Christ, I haven't got a post to go out today and I just post for post's sake. Um, because if you're not getting any engagement or you're getting low engagement on that post, it's just going to go negative against you. So it's really important that you do have that balance. So if posting every day doesn't work for you, but you can do 3 quality posts throughout the week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then I'd recommend do that as well. And there's lots and lots of tips that we're going to go through on the training on giving you ideas on what to be posting as well. And then monitor your engagement metrics. So you can click on post impressions and you can go to most top performing post. So what I like to do every month is look at the top 5 posts for that month. And what that allows me to do is work out how can I create more of that style content next month to get the same, if not a better result. If there's certain posts that haven't done well, I will either stop posting that style content, or I will look to just try and refine it, change it up a little bit to see if next month I get a different result from it. So it's really important that every month you sit back and you look at your engagement metrics and work out what was my best performing post, what did I do in that post, and how can I create more of this style post so that my audience have more and more engagement. So some ideas on the kind of things that you can post. And just quickly, are you guys getting a lot from this right now? Is anybody feeling like they're getting a lot that they never knew before for the platform? They can go out and start implementing this already. Cool. So we've got a lot of yeses. Perfect. This is just the basics, guys. So when we talk about the 28-day challenge, which I'll go into a little bit more, you've got 2 hours further advanced training with me. So, one thing that's really, really important is sharing your story. People buy from people that they like, they know, they trust, and sharing your story is really, really important. Um, I like to share milestones. So, if I've had a new achievement, I like to share that. One thing I really like to one thing I really like to showcase is that I'm human and that I make mistakes as well. And I make a lot of mistakes because I'm always growing. So whenever I'm comfortable, I need to go out and I need to try and grow to the next stage. And in that growth phase, that's when you're going to make the most mistakes because you're doing things you've never done before. And what I like to do is I like to share the problems I've come up against. I like to share the mistakes that I've made, but more importantly, tell people what I learned from that and what I've put into place to implement that never happens again, that really will allow your audience to build up that credibility that they need from you. And I think problem solving is a skill that all of us want in anyone that we're going to be working with. So my good friend Sam Norris is on here, right? Sam is a mortgage broker. If every time there was a down valuation, Sam said, "Sorry, Paul, it's been down valued by 20 grand. You got another 20 grand to put in." I would lose credibility for him. But knowing Sam, Sam will come back to me and go, "Right, Paul, let's build a case to go back and contest this because we feel that this is massively undervalued." Those are the attractive problem solving skills that I would want if I was looking for a mortgage broker. So think about showcasing the bad experiences on deals you've done with investors, but showing the problem solving skills that you use, because people will want to know that in the nicest possible way, when the shit hits the fan, you're still going to be there fighting through the trenches in order to get them to the end goal. So it's really, really important. Um, Using good quality pictures is really important on this platform. High quality pictures of yourself tend to be the best engagement post that you can do. Really, really important. Um, I went through a stage where I didn't post pictures of myself. I just posted pictures that were like stock images. I was getting really, really low engagement. I've started to create a hybrid of a picture of me reacting to the stock image. So maybe it might be a cloudy, dark sky in the background, and there's a cut out picture of me looking confused, and maybe the headline is like confused what's happening with the base rate, something like that. But because it's me, people are interacting with it. They're not just thinking it's a computer generated image and it's probably computer generated content that's going out. So it's really important that you make it personal, got good quality pictures of yourself as well. And then at every post, you want some form of call to action. If I'm doing a personal story, my call to actions are very different to what they would be on a service based post. So on a service based post, it would be something like comment the word attend to join our webinar, comment learn to learn about our selling service. But when it comes to something that's personal, I want to find out more about that individual. So my call to action would be something like, what's been your biggest lesson in property so far? What I like about these is that you may get lower engagement, but the engagement will be much bigger. So instead of a one word comment, you're going to get a paragraph comment. And again, those big paragraph comments not only push the algorithm further, but when people go to the comments and they're reading it, the longer they stay on your post, the more that the algorithm will push you as well, because the retention on your post is higher. So there's all these metrics you need to consider as well. The use of video content. Video has become popular on LinkedIn now. I've been posting video content for 2 years on LinkedIn, and I got the usual trolls on LinkedIn telling me this isn't Instagram, this isn't TikTok, this shouldn't be on here. These are not videos of me doing silly viral dances. You'll find those on TikTok, but these are videos of me on podcasts providing really valuable insights that I think people want to know about. And I've been posting these for, as I said, the best part of a year and a half, 2 years, very, very low engagement. But now there is a video section on LinkedIn. LinkedIn have moved with the times, and the actual platform's looking a little bit more like Instagram, with a separate area that you can go and watch videos. So short videos, 15 to 30 seconds, you can create loads of those and get them out. That's really going to help the algorithm, and it's really going to push your engagement. Haven't got a slide for it, but one of my mentees, Kim, she did no, it wasn't Kim, sorry, it was Charlotte. She did a video walkthrough of one of the properties that she was refurbing. Nothing fancy, just a quick walkthrough with a little talk over. And she got over 100,000 impressions, views on that, more than she'd seen in any of her posts combined for the whole year. So if video is something you're happy to do, jump on it, double down on it, because the algorithm is really pushing video content right now. So kind of things that we can be doing. So behind the scenes, everyone loves the behind the scenes. So give them a glimpse of when you're on a property viewing, what you're looking out for. So if you're on a viewing and you see that there's, I don't know, damp in the bay window, just explain to people that are newbies, that are novices, give them some education, show that you're credible. What would you do in this instance? Maybe you've got a damp reader. What does it mean if it's over 20%? It means that it's damp. If it's under 20%, it just means that there's moisture in the wall, but it's not damp. Just give those small things, because what you think is really simple to someone just starting out, some people don't know the term yield or how to work it out. Some people don't know what ROI means. So it's really important that you're educating people to build up that credibility for you. Um, Quick tips. So 60 to 90-second videos sharing actionable advice. So 3 tips for finding off-market deals, maybe 4 things to look out for on a viewing, 5 things to think about when setting up your first HMO. These tips are going to be really important. Just make sure that they're aimed at your ideal client and that the hooks are going to be something that's going to draw me in to want to listen to it as well. And then subtitles are going to be really important. If you think of the consumer, typically LinkedIn is a business platform, right? It's not social media. It's a business platform. So people are going to be consuming this while they're at work, while they're on the train commuting. The chances are most people won't have the sound on. So it's really important that you've got some very clear subtitles on your videos so that people can stay and watch your video. Chances are, if you haven't got subtitles and they're at work and they're scrolling through, they're going to just skip past your video. So for that retention, I would really recommend using something like captions or CapCut to get some really colorful popping out subtitles to get their attention. Cool. So who has got massive value just from this short little webinar that we've done so far? Let me just get some yeses or some hands up in the chat. That would be great. Perfect. Lots and lots and lots of us. Brilliant. That's what I like to hear. So we will be launching our 28-day challenge. This will be, forgive me, Michelle, is it our 7th or 8th intake? And I always say every single time we do a new one, it gets better and better because we're always adding to it. Every single intake, we're adding to it. So the training will take place on the 11th of March at 7:30 p.m. If you can't attend, then you'll get the recording and you can watch it back. I'm going to explain exactly what's included in the training and the 28-day challenge for those that aren't aware already. So let's start with who this is going to be for. So it's going to be for you if you are struggling with your brand awareness. It's going to be for you if you need to find more good quality investors. It's going to be for you if you're tired of searching on Rightmove and you're looking for more direct to vendor leads. They're the 3 people. Which one are you? 1, 2, or 3? Or are you a hybrid of a couple of those? Or are you all of above? Let me know where you think you sit on that scale. So we've got someone saying all 3. Emma saying 2 and 3. Richard saying a hybrid, all 3, all. Maria says, will it work to find money for deals? Absolutely. It's perfect for finding JV investors. So many of our mentees have found JV investors for the works for deals or for buying deals as well. Wicked. Okay, so let's talk about what's included when it comes to the LinkedIn challenge, because it's not just a challenge. We give you a hell of a lot more. So you're going to get 2 hours worth of advanced training with me. I'm going to teach you how to do lots of things like optimize your profile. We're going to go through lots more techniques on the platform, lots more tools. This is really cool. This is a massive bonus. We create a WhatsApp support group. The WhatsApp support group is really, really valuable. It's a great way of you tracking everyone else's progress, which gives you that rocket up the backside if you're not if you're not performing. It's a great way of you sharing your post for everyone to go on and engage with your post so they can like and comment on it. It's also a great place that you can ask me any questions that you have as well. So it offers a hell of a lot of value. And as you can see, these are all from a single day. And there are so many people posting in there every single day. Everyone's engaging, lots and lots of people offering advice and support to people as well. So it's really important. you can see, look, one of our mentees, nearly 20,000 impressions on one of their posts. And that would have been within 24 hours. So absolutely incredible results. We're going to provide you with a content calendar. So we've already created the perfect 28-day content calendar for you. So for anyone that was saying they're struggling to think what they can post, we've sorted that for you. So 20 days out of the 28, we don't post on the weekend. There's 20 different types of content for you to post throughout the challenge. Everyone posts the same on the day, so you're all learning from each other. But what's great here is that you can work out what content works and what content doesn't work for your base. So lots and lots of inspiration for you. We do impression tracking. So we'll track where you were at the start to where you are after 28 days. You can see the progress you made. We would always look at you minimum getting 100, 200% increase on your tracking. But we have many, many mentees that are in the thousands of percent in the 28 days as well. You've got the peer support on your post. This is really important. If you don't yet have an established audience, the peer support basically means that if there's 50 of us in the group, then we're in a position whereby you've got 50 people going on to like and comment, reshare your post. That's going to force the algorithm even further for you. Therefore, you're going to start to see some really, really good traction, new followers coming in as well. Lots of internal networking. So forget the networking on the actual platform. So many people within the group have gone on to do joint ventures together, co-sourcing, or even just finding a good friend that's doing the same thing as you in the same area as well. So we see lots and lots of internal networking within the group. And we also offer a ton of prizes based on your performance as well. So we have the top performer on the amount of followers that have been added, the highest increase in impressions, the most impressions in the group. We offer prizes there as well. And that typically is in the form of a one-to-one with me to go through your profile and build a plan after the challenge. The last thing that we give you, and this is to help people if they're struggling with creating some good looking content, we've pre-recorded a digital Canva course that we'll share with you. It's about half an hour, 40 minutes long. So you get free access to that course. That course is £99 typically, but you're going to get that for free with us as well.
Before this challenge,
Before we go on to that, this is Becky. So Becky's just finished a 28-day challenge with us. Becky is what I would call the star pupil. She did everything on the challenge. She supported everyone in the group. And in return, what she got were some absolutely insane results. The biggest result is that on her very first post that she did, which is an introduction post, she had an investor reach out to her. And on the third day of the challenge, she secured £300,000 worth of JV finance just from that very first post. And Becky started her account from a standstill. So she didn't already have tons of impressions. She didn't have loads of followers. She had minimal followers. She'd never posted on LinkedIn. And just from that first post, she raised £300,000 worth of angel investment. And what was great is that she announced that in the group on the third day. And that was some huge inspiration for some people that were maybe a bit slow on posting to think, actually, if Becky's done it, I can do it. So again, another massive benefit of the WhatsApp.
Before this challenge, my LinkedIn posts had low engagement and I was super inconsistent. I never really knew what to post about or even how to structure a post, which meant that my content was just really inconsistent. LinkedIn in general just used to really overwhelm me because I never really knew how to give value in my posts and build meaningful relationships to actually benefit my business. The training at the start of the challenge was really helpful to build meaningful connections and structure posts properly. And the content calendar really helped me stay on track as well as try other styles of posts that I hadn't really tried before. What I loved most was boosting my engagement to be able to reach more people and build more meaningful connections, which then ended up benefiting my business. For example, meeting more investors through the engagement that I got on posts. Also the accountability side of things, because you're in a WhatsApp group, to stay consistent and stay on track with the content calendar as well is really helpful to make sure that you're showing up every single week. The LinkedIn challenge really helped me with building relationships through my new connections on LinkedIn and specifically with investors as well, to hopefully move forward and grow my business further. By the end of the challenge, my impressions had grown by 426.5% compared to the previous month, and my followers grew by 57.6%. I also gained a ton of confidence posting on LinkedIn and now feel like I can continue that momentum moving forward. I'd 100% recommend the challenge to anyone who feels nervous to post on LinkedIn or the thought really overwhelms them. The challenge breaks everything down for you, so you really don't have to think about too much. And plus, you've got the support of the WhatsApp group there if you do need help with anything along the way.
Cool. So, absolutely incredible results. 426.5% increase on her impressions, 57.6% increase on her followers, £300,000 worth of JV finance. Absolutely incredible. I'll tell you what, let's be different. Give me a fire emoji if you want to have the same results as Becky, because she did absolutely incredible. Any fire emojis coming in? Rajesh has given us the word fire emoji, so yeah, we'll let that count. Chris, fire emoji. Mark, exactly. These are incredible results. Perfect. So what you're going to learn whilst being on here. So we're going to teach you how to optimize your profile. This simple change is an absolute game changer. So many people have set their profiles up incorrectly, and they wonder why they're not getting people adding them. If your profile is not optimized correctly, people won't be able to find you on the platform. So the first step that we'll do is actually look at your profile. We'll work on it. We'll make sure that you're visible to your audience. That's the first thing. Second thing, we're going to show you how to find more investors. We've covered a very, very small snippet of it in this session, but we're going to go into much more detail on finding those investors. We're going to teach you how to create engaging posts. Just because you post every day doesn't mean it's engaging, doesn't mean you're going to get the results that you need. So it's really, really important that you understand what it takes to create an engaging post. We're going to teach you how to generate warm inbound leads. That was the game changer for me when I wasn't having to outbound all the time. And instead, I was getting inbound leads to me. They are what I call hot leads, and hot leads are the easiest ones for you to close because they've already decided that they want to work with you. So if you can generate warm inbound leads, that's when you're going to make your life a lot easier. We're going to teach you how to outbound effectively as well. In the early days, you're going to need to know how to outbound as well. Who here gets absolutely flooded with really, really awful DMs on LinkedIn from people that haven't read your profile? You have nothing in common. Sometimes they're so bad that they've still got the name of the previous person that they messaged on the DM to you as well. I'm absolutely flooded with them, absolute daily. So we need to ensure that when you do your outbounding, you're going to stand out from the crowd as well. So I'm going to teach you a few little tricks with that. Teach you what type of content works as well. There's lots of different types of content, but let's talk about what works for the people that you're looking to generate. And then we're going to teach you how to use the scheduling software on the platform as well, because this is going to be the game changer for you at being consistent. Got another testimonial from Kim. Kim, again, another star pupil, done really, really well. Let's just show you this one.
Hello, I'm Kim Oster. I've just completed the 28-day LinkedIn challenge. Before I started the challenge, my engagement was low, and mostly because I was really inconsistent with how and what I was posting about. And so the challenge has been really instrumental in bringing about great change for that. I found the framework, the calendar that you get to post, incredibly helpful. I've saved it, and it's something that I'm going to be referring back to for a long time to come. Overall, I think the process to get on board was really simple, and also how to follow it once you're in it was also really simple too. Paul is there in the WhatsApp group every day, answering our questions and helping you out with whatever you need, so it's really, really great. The results that I've had have really been quite impressive. I've made a lot of new connections, 22.5% new connections, which is a lot. but my engagement has gone up by over 5,000%, which I was really shocked about. 5,000% is pretty impressive. I think the change for me, though, that being on this challenge has had is that I've now got more confidence in what to post, how to post, when and how to use a poll, and just generally I feel like I'm in a groove with that now, and it's something that I want to keep up with and be consistent with. So I've had a great time on this challenge. It's been really helpful to me. I've really enjoyed being part of the WhatsApp group and the support of that as well. So yes, I highly recommend the 28-day LinkedIn challenge.
What I love about Kim is, even though the LinkedIn challenge has finished, and it's been finished for just over a week now, she is still consistently posting. She's not relying on the 28-day challenge to basically get her to go out and post. She's seen what it can do, and she's now taking it to the next level and doing it herself as well. So absolutely great example, and 5,000% boost on her engagement. And that wasn't 5,000% because she started with minimal impressions. She had a pretty good impression rate at the start, but she's just learned how to post, and she's been consistent. Some days she's posted more than once because she's seen something in the press, so she's thought outside of the box and done more than what was asked of her as well. So again, another incredible example of what can be achieved on the platform. So who would like to join the challenge? Who would like to find out how you can join the challenge? So Amelia, she's got star eyes. Yep, Chris is saying yes. Ezekiel, Richard, perfect. Everyone's saying the right things. So again, just to recap, you're going to get the advanced training, access to the recording, the WhatsApp group, how to use Canva calls, the 28-day content challenge calendar as well. On our website, we do this as a one-to-one. It's £497 per person, but we're going to be rolling this out as a group for YPN. So we're going to be reducing the price for this webinar to £99 per person plus the Eventbrite fee. That's a special webinar price for this. You get all the value that you would if you did it as a one-to-one with me. If anything, you get more value because you don't get the WhatsApp community when you do it as a one-to-one. So huge value there. And it also includes a special bonus if you book before the webinar ends. So we're going to go to a Q&A, going to give you the opportunity to go away and purchase this, purchase your ticket. Special bonus that you're going to get is an incredible guide that myself and Michelle have just built together, which is a property investment area analysis workbook. For anyone that's really struggling to work out where their property hotspot is, or if they're looking at identifying a new property hotspot, this is an incredible workbook that we've created based on what we do when we're searching for property areas. And it helps you identify whether it's a good area of regeneration, what the demographic is. So does demographic match up with who you're looking to work with as well? Lots and lots of tips in that workbook. Hugely valuable. We haven't started selling this yet, but this is definitely a high value product that we're going to be selling, and you're going to get it for free if you purchased whilst we are on this webinar still. So you've probably got another 20 minutes to purchase. And the first 10 people that buy a ticket will get the recordings from the last Property and Entrepreneur Summit. Again, this is valued at £49. You're going to get it for free for the first 10 people. So I'm going to leave this up. There we go. It's there. I'm going to leave it up just to let you know that the training is on the 11th of March, and then we commence the challenge the following week. So on Monday, the 17th of March is when the challenge will start. Cool. Michelle, are you there?
I am here, yes, Paul. Fantastic. And what great testimonials as well. I think it was really interesting how both of those testimonials, and as as we know, we're in the LinkedIn group, what we have seen is that people have, the most important thing that's come through is this confidence, this clarity, this ability to just go out there and post. And part of that has been the accountability of the group. Part of it has been the just the seeing what other people are doing as well, and just seeing what is possible. As you said there, someone just getting £300,000 worth of investment secured on after a first couple of days, absolutely incredible. Right, we've got lots of people who are saying they're in. Guys, when you are in, let us know. Say I'm in. Anthony's paid, Richard's in. Yes, there is a booking fee. So Richard, you can see there it says webinar. The offer is £99 plus the £99 plus the Eventbrite fees. It is recorded, yes, Brendan. So if you can't make that, you can still secure your place on the 28-day challenge, which means that you can just watch that training at any time that suits you. And of course, if you can make it, even if you can't, you can watch it back again on a replay. I think there's a few more questions about that as well. So you've got a week, Paul, to catch up if if you can't make it on the night before the actual challenge starts. So
Yeah.
Monday, the
So the
11th,
gap,
yeah.
the gap between really is for you to watch it back again. And the main thing you need to do between the training and the challenge starting is really the profile optimization. That's going to be like the key thing. So it's just making sure that your profile is set up ready to go. And the other thing will be that we'll be providing you with the calendar ahead of time. So if you wanted to prepare the weekend before for the following week's content, that's how we train it. Then you have time to do that as well. But the recording will be live for you to watch back as many times as you want throughout the training as well. You'll have access to it after the training as well. But for anyone that can't make the actual training night, again, not a problem because you can watch it back. You'll come in the WhatsApp group. You can ask any questions that maybe weren't asked by your peers on there, and we'll be happy to answer those as well.
Great. So hope that answers your question to Elena and Amelia and Rajesh and Brendan, who all asked about the recording. So just to be clear, if you can't make it on Monday the 11th to the live training, then you can just watch that at any time. It's only 2 hours or so, and you get everything you need. You get to rewatch that. We'll send you the link, and then you've got a whole week before the actual challenge starts. So lots more people saying they're in. Christopher's in, Kingsley's in, Doug's in. We've got more people. Harriet's in as well. Fantastic. Ollie saying, great value. I'll be out of the country, but we'll miss the challenge start date. Would this affect my participation? It's a fun competition, right? that we've got
Well,
going on. But you
schedule
can still
the
do.
content before you go. That's
There you go. There
yeah,
you go. Paul's got
schedule
the
it.
answer there. So OB, you need to schedule the content before you go. So that means you can go away, whether it's on holiday or work or whatever, and it will all just be those posts will be going out without any efforts there. Paul will show you how you can schedule those in. So that's not any problem there. So yeah, let's have a look.
So
Any
we've
more
got
questions?
Eleanor asking the 28-day challenge will require to attend live. No, so there won't be any webinars or anything. Everything will be done in the WhatsApp group. So myself, Michelle, the team will all be in the WhatsApp group and we'll be giving you tasks to do in there. So we'll be posting the content calendar. Any questions you have will be done there. So it will be the 2 hours training and the rest of it will be the 28-day challenge in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah. And guys, you can make this as easy as you like. We'll give you loads of suggestions of the content that you can create on your own, and we'll give you a calendar if you want to follow that. That's great. And if you want to just go off and make your own content, or something happens in the news, you want to jump on it, then that's fine too. But we're making it as easy as possible. Keep it really simple. This really is about building some momentum. It's about making sure that you just get used to the LinkedIn platform, and where perhaps you haven't used the polls or you haven't used LinkedIn properly in the past. This is about building those habits that are not just for those 28 days, but will keep you going long after. Elena is in. Fantastic. Rajesh, the link is open today. You can keep hold of it. This is a great one if you know anybody that you would like to bring in. Obviously, you've got the accountability of the group, but if you've got a friend or business partner and you keep saying, I need to get better at my social media, but neither of you do it, then bring a friend in as well so you can get a friend to come in with you, and then you can have a bit of a bit of competition with somebody you know as well.
Mm.
Ayemi's in as well, and Rajesh, remember the offer is only available on today's webinar. By the end of today's webinar, if you want all of those bonuses. Otherwise, that's fine. You can join at any time. I'm sure you can appreciate, guys. If you want to sort out your LinkedIn, this is a no-brainer. It's the accountability that you've been waiting for, the support, the opportunity to get your questions answered. So we're going to make it this, as I say, like as straightforward as we can for you. If there's any other questions around LinkedIn or around anything we've talked about today, around the training, then now is the time to drop those in before we close for today. Because I'm conscious of time. We had a question before, I've lost it now, about will the training help you set up a profile? So if people have either not got a profile at all or they have got an old one that they haven't used, will you give them some guidance on how to get it going?
Say that. Sorry, you cut out there, Michelle. What was
Oh,
that?
sorry. How do you will you give people guidance on how to set up a new profile or revamp an old one?
Yes, that's the first part that we cover on what you need to do um, to make sure it's optimized the correct way. So if you haven't set up a profile yet, then I would say wait until the training before you set it up in case you set it up wrong, because then you're going to have to do double the amount of work.
Perfect. And what times of the day is the training going to be, and during the challenge?
Well, the training will be 7:30 in the evening. It's just a 2-hour training. That's it. And then the challenge is basically throughout the whole day. So you're going to have people that post in the day, people that post at night, people that post first thing in the morning. Um, so you just do it whatever works for you really. If you've got an hour commute into London, then I would say that's the perfect time for you to sit on the train, respond to anything on the 28-day challenge, like everyone's post, get yours posted. Or if, for instance, you're busy throughout the day and it's going to be sort of 8 o'clock when you're sitting down after dinner that you want to do it, then again, it's completely up to you if you want to do it that way.
Great. Got a few more questions coming through. And Amelia, there are no silly questions. That's what you're here for. We're here to support you and you're here to learn. So just fire away any questions at all, guys. This question about would it be okay to use a personal LinkedIn profile or is a business page better?
This only really works with a personal one. Business pages really don't get the push that you need. So build it all on a personal page.
Okay, great. And similar question, and I know it's a common one for a lot of people, is if they've already got a personal page, but it's connected to a job that is not, not property based,
Yeah.
then could they delete the existing profile and start a new one, or would it be best to kind of just tweet, just do a business page?
I think so it doesn't have to be property, your audience, because if we think about it, most of the people that we're looking to work with just have normal day jobs, but they just happen to have money that they want to invest. So you need to think about the people that are already in your audience. Could they be the right person for you, for instance? Otherwise, you could be deleting a ton of valuable contacts because it will take you a while to build from a standing start. So if you've already got 500, 1,000 contacts, might just be a case of re-optimizing your profile and then just start changing what you're posting so that it starts to attract different people.
Yeah.
Uh,
Obi's asking about the fees. So yeah, guys, it's £99 plus the Eventbrite fees, so it shows up as 107 when you come to pay. And the URL, so when you sign up, it's asking for a URL to your LinkedIn. If you can't find your LinkedIn URL,
NA.
just leave it blank or
No, just put NA. It's a
NA.
compulsory
Oh,
one,
okay.
so just put NA on it, and that should be fine.
Great. Easy's in. Fantastic, Easy. Well, good to see you in there as well as Emma. Fantastic. We've got Gary who's saying, do you need the Sales Navigator or Premium to get the most out of it?
Um, I've never used it, and I've had huge success from it. So, um, I don't know your circumstances if you're working a job or if property's full time for you, but I think if you're connecting with the right 50 people every week, then 50 leads is a hell of a lot for you to be connecting with, building rapport. Any more than that, you're just going to be kind of running around in every direction. So I think see how you get on with the free one. Um, but me personally, I've never used Sales Navigator or Premium because I've not had to. I've just connected with the right people and then focused my time on nurturing them.
Okay, amazing. We've got Maria who says she's in Kingsley saying I'm getting 136 instead of 107. I'm not sure what buttons you press there, Kingsley, but
136.
it should just be 107, the final payment.
Yeah.
And a few people asking, have the extra bonuses gone for the first 10 places? I don't know.
Um,
What
they
tell
have,
me.
they have, but I am feeling quite generous today. So maybe anyone that's bought before we finish up here, I might extend it to that as well. Um,
Great, thank you.
I did see a couple of questions further up when we were
Yeah.
talking that I missed. So
Yeah, guys, I'll just review any other questions. If you've not had your question asked, then just repost it and we can answer that now. Let's have a
so
look.
Rob has said, how come you haven't responded when I asked about getting access to the LinkedIn challenge that also includes a Canva course? I'm not sure what the question was on there.
No,
Um,
that's awesome because we've all sorted. We've got the Canva course in this one. Maria saying, how would you search for angel investors?
um, Well, it's not a case of searching for angel investors. It's about putting out the right content to attract angel investors because it's very unlikely that a angel investor will have the word angel investor in their profile. So really you just want to be putting out the right content to attract that angel investor for them to see it. So if you're talking about um, case studies on deals that you've done with an investor and what the investor got out of it, um, talking about what you're looking to do with investors, if anyone's interested, then to contact you. That's how I would look to attract those investors. The more you talk about who you are, what you do, who you help. So if you keep talking about who that person is that you want to find, they'll hear that and they'll relate to it and then they'll contact you.
Great. We've got Kate Mish who said, it looks like we can only make 5 connections unless we pay £60 a month for LinkedIn. Is there another way? Do you think he's got confused somewhere? Or
No, it's a lot more than 5, but it could just be if you've just set up the account, it takes a little while for you to be able to add more and more people that because they're worried about people having like bots adding people. So if it's a very, very fresh account, it may be that they're limiting you to like 5 or 10 a day, that kind of thing, until you start feeding the algorithm some valuable content. So
yeah. And
um
remember, guys, you're going to get lots of people requesting to connect with you as well, rather than you just going out and connecting with other people. So, yeah, Anthony's saying a couple of days to get some traction. No problem. James is saying, is there an optimum time of day to post content? Great question.
again, it all depends on who your audience is. Like if you're looking to attract people of retirement age, then they're probably going to be on the platform at a very different time to the busy working professional who commutes into London or wherever they commute into at 6:30, 7 o'clock. So I would say it's based on knowing the habits of your ideal client. So I post anytime is the honest answer because the feed isn't in chronological order. It's in relevance order. So I know that if I post this morning and Michelle opens her LinkedIn up at 3 o'clock, there is still a very high chance I'm going to be at the top of the feed because it's relevant to her and she's engaged with my posts.
Absolutely. And guys, try not to overthink it. It's all about progress, not perfection. So just get the content out, get used to using the platform, and then you can refine and tweak later on, right? If you need to. But that consistency is the most important thing. Obi's in. Fantastic. Looking forward to working with you all. Also, I will be expecting my bonus. Thank you for the opportunity. Obi, don't worry, we will get the bonus to you. No problem. Doug saying, this is a golden nugget moment, exactly what I need to move forward with my development company. Amazing, Doug. Look forward to seeing you in the WhatsApp group as well. Let's any final questions, guys, before we wrap up? So sorry, Easy asked about is it possible that he can just delete his current LinkedIn and then just start again, or is it easier to just revamp what's there?
You can. I would just say if you've already got connections, then I would probably just revamp it and go through all of that, because then you're going to start off with a much slower rate of connecting with people.
Yeah, so just redesign it. That's no problem. Easy. You can do that pretty simply. Samuel's in as well. We've got Joseph's in. We've got. Okay. Any more questions? I think.
Everyone's questions.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there were a few, but maybe we answered those.
Doug was asking about the subtitle tools. Does that come in?
So captions, CapCut, they're the popular. I use captions. It does obviously involve a bit of work because you have to take it off of your computer onto your phone, use it as an app, and then send it back, or however you want to do it. LinkedIn does have a caption subtitle tool, but they're not popping. I like them to kind of stand out and be quite visible to people. It just draws them into it.
Yeah, we had another question, I've lost it now, about batching content. So what are your tips for batching like a week's worth, let's say?
Yeah,
Or a
again,
month's worth?
just use the scheduler. Just have a plan. I have a let me
Oh,
so
he's gone to
I
look. I know.
you can buy something like this on Amazon. Don't know if you can see that. So it's just a month.
There you go. I've got mine there as well.
There we go. So for me, I will sit there and I will work out what I want to go out for the whole month, and I will batch if I can. I'll batch always a minimum of a week in advance. But if I'm in a, say for instance, tomorrow when I'm on the train going up to Manchester, I know I'm not going to get any phone calls done because the signal's too inconsistent. I know I'm not going to be able to Zoom because the signal's too bad. So I will work on batching my content, cutting reels and clips and stuff like that. And hopefully I'll get 2 weeks worth of content done whilst on that train journey. So yeah, I'm a fan of batch content. My business partner who's batching it for Instagram is Instagram and TikTok. He batches around 5 pieces of content a day to go out. And he's always 2 weeks ahead. So you think about the number of things he's batching, it's absolutely huge. But he wouldn't be as consistent as he is if he didn't do those batch bits. And again, like me, very strict, blocking out time within his week to do that and not have any distractions.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Doug is saying, do you show people how to use it on the training? So, okay, the concept of batching all of the content, but then scheduling it, is that something you go through?
Yeah, so on the scheduling, yeah, we'll show you how you can batch it. Um, I mean, like when you've got the content schedule, it makes it easier for you to batch it because you're not having to think about um, an idea on what type of content you want to create. You've got the concept there already, so it is just executing it with the imagery or the video or just the actual wording that you need to do. So yeah, we'll go through all of that, but it for me the consistency lies in the planning.
Yeah. And remember, guys, when a few people said here today, Paul, when you were talking about can people post once a day? For a lot of people, it's thinking of the material and the content. So, guys, not only do we provide you with a content planner, but also you're going to be seeing what other people are posting as well. You're going to be on the site a bit more, so you're going to just be getting like ideas. So it's just about capturing those ideas and repurposing them. And we can show you easy ways of repurposing ideas as well. Rajesh is saying about the this limited LinkedIn. He says the thing with LinkedIn is I get a limited people to connect with on the free one. So, Paul, do you think that once people start posting and getting some engagement, they're going to be able to connect with more people?
Yeah, it's like anything. You need to provide value first. I always say you never get what you want until you give someone else what they want first. That's the transactional strategy. So start feeding the algorithm, be active on there, and you'll unlock different rewards. I remember for me at the very start, it was slow because to build your circle, if you're only adding 5 people a day, then it's hard. But they're not going to reward people that are inactive on the platform. So the only way to get out of that, and it's not an overnight thing, a week's worth of feeding it. So 2 posts a day, connecting with people, DMing people, responding on other people's posts will be enough to then build that trust up, and then you'll start to be able to connect with more people. I'd also say as well, don't connect with people too quickly. Kind of like don't go from connecting with Michelle, then connect with me straight after and someone else, because then it's the traits of a bot. So if you make it look like these are meaningful connections, so go on Michelle's profile, have a little look through her profile, maybe engage with a couple of bits first, and then DM her, and then leave it a couple of minutes before then going on to mine. That's going to give you a head start as well. Otherwise, I've had it before in the early days. You get put into what we call LinkedIn prison, and they say it seems as if you're using software, so they're going to freeze your ability to connect with people for a week. Um, so yeah, you just need to make sure you're not doing it and connecting with people for the sake of it. They are meaningful connections.
And part of that will be engaging as well. So it's not just about, I think the best way to uh, make these new connections is by just engaging with other people, whether they're in the group, in the WhatsApp group, whether they're other people who you want to connect with or potential investors. Then there's a etiquette, there's a dance. Paul, do you want to just talk about this? Because, as you
Yeah,
said before, we all, like anybody who's on LinkedIn and the social media, who's quite active, you get spammed these like messages all day long, and I'm just like, archive, put it into the other box.
yeah.
So, and I had a great one today. The guy, bless him, it's not really something I'm looking for. He wanted to do video editing or something, but it was brilliant. He'd got something from my profile and just asked me a really simple question. It's like, hey, seen your profile, just wondering what you think about this. And it was personal, it's really interesting, it was engaging. And if I had been looking for that particular type of service, I would have definitely gone with him. But it's how do you manage being personal with like on scale, on volume?
So I would on something like Loom, for instance, you can create a standard introduction, um, and then what typically I've seen people do. I don't do this myself, but what I've seen people do is, like you just said, go onto someone's profile, and instead of actually having their face on it, it's just the voiceover saying, "Hi, Michelle, just going through your profile. Love what you're doing. Here's my thoughts." And then it jumps straight into the pre-recorded clip. You would never know it's pre-recorded because you can't see what they're wearing, but it's the intro that is the personalized touch. My method is to go through their profile. I typically like something that is a few weeks, if not a month old, because then it makes it look like you've spent the time to actually go through their content. And then on that particular post, I'll like and I'll comment on it. But on the comment, I'll also say, um, FYI, I've sent you a DM, so that they're almost expecting it and they've seen it in their notifications first before I send a direct message. So it's not quite cold, it's a bit more of a warmer approach. That's worked quite well for me. Sometimes I won't send them a DM until I've had a response to to the reply on their comment as well. So it's there is a bit of a game and a bit of a song and a dance around it. But if you don't want it's kind of like how I see the mail shot campaigns. If I'm sending a mail shot to someone, it's a concentrated mail shot. It's someone that I'm sending specifically to them. I'm not doing these blanket letters that go out to 100 people and then get zero result. It's the same as the DMs. People that do that just doesn't work. You need to concentrate on the right people, spend a bit of time, make it personal.
Amazing. Yeah, completely agree with that. And when you said before about adding value to somebody else, well, that can just simply be a like or a comment, just supporting them in what they're doing, saying congratulations to whatever has happened. You don't have to know them, and that's where you get noticed. So be on their radar before you ask anything of them. Right, I
Yeah,
think
agreed.
is a good way to look at it. Guys, this is your last chance. We're going to be closing down now. So um, thanks, Doug. I like to make an effort, be on camera. Last chance to join. The link is in the chat. Fantastic bonuses. As I said, this is an absolute no-brainer. It's an opportunity to get in the WhatsApp group, get to know Paul and myself and everybody else in the group, get that accountability, and get in the groove, in the habit of posting. So I think that's probably a good place to wrap up. Paul, any final
Yeah.
comments?
No, I just look forward to catching up with everyone on the next call. It's going to be great. And yeah, I'd just say treat this as something that is going to be an absolute game changer in your business. Don't look at it as one of those tasks that you've got to get through and say, well, I did 28 days. I can say I've done it. This really is a game changer for your business. Um, I've experienced it. Lots of my mentees experience it. So this is marketing. This is branding. This is what's going to elevate your business to the next level.
Amazing. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing everybody in the WhatsApp group. And Paul, can you just tell people about the next steps? What can they expect? So they've signed up today, they've put
Yeah.
their email into the Eventbrite. So you're going to get a notification, probably an automatic one from Eventbrite. So if you
Yeah.
can't see that in your current email, then do go to your spam or your junk folder to check that out, or check the other email that you forgot that you signed up with. But the details will be in your email that you signed up with today. So what
And
happens
well,
next, Paul?
also, yeah, so you'll receive an email with the details for the Zoom. So if
When
we
will
are
they get added to the WhatsApp group?
yeah, so if it's on the Tuesday, so if we say the Friday, so next Friday, we will create the WhatsApp group. And in the WhatsApp group, we'll give you instructions. We'll give you the content calendar a little bit early that weekend to work on it. And we'll also paste the links as well for you to join the calls there.
Fantastic. That's it. That's a wrap, guys. Take care.
Perfect.
Look forward to seeing you in the group. Bye-bye.
Bye.